Hey, what's happening, friends? Welcome back to another episode of The Big Show. Today, I want to talk to you guys about something that gets brought up in conversations with groups of men a lot. Every time we talk about women in these conversations, this topic gets brought up from time to time, and that is what we as men find sexy about a woman. Now, this has been a topic of conversation for centuries. It's nothing new, and it's intrigued women for ages. Smart women know the power that they have over a man, and bad women use this power to crush the hearts and spirits of men that they feel have crossed them,
Yeah.
It's pretty common knowledge that men are visual creatures. This is not anything that's new to anyone that's watching this right now. It's pretty common. Men love beautiful women. We love beauty. We're visual creatures. We always have been. We just love beauty. We love a sexy woman. And it's our weakness. And it's so important to men that men will actually judge each other's status on the kind of women that we're able to acquire.
Yeah.
The seduction of a woman has literally brought men to their knees, and men who are in positions of power have made history-altering decisions to either acquire a woman of value or show his devotion to her. Like countries have literally, Dwayne, gone to war, and countless men have given their lives in battle to protect the women that we love.
Yes. Yep.
So there's no denying, guys, the fact that seduction is and has been used as a weapon, and beauty can be just as deadly as a sword. So today what we're doing is we're diving into a topic that has perplexed humans for centuries, which is what turns on men. Now, when I listen to my female counterparts, the answer to the question is usually the same two answers, followed by like an eye roll and a disappointed undertone in their voice. Women think that what men only want is two things: naked women and beauty. Now, women seem to think that those are the two only things that turn men on, right? And while there's a large amount of money spent in those two areas, I completely understand why women would think those are the two driving forces. I mean, women will do some outrageous things to keep themselves looking young and pretty.
Right.
It's the sole reason, Dwayne, that women spend an average of $3,756 a year on beauty-related expenses.
Oh my God.
That's $313 per month on average.
Oh my God.
That women spend to keep themselves looking great. That is, and I'm going to say this because I know my data nerd partner here loves this, Dwayne, that's $225,360 over a lifetime.
Wow.
That's a lot of money, man.
Does that include like plastic surgery, or is that just nails and toes? And
that's just nails, toes, creams, products, beauty products, not even including plastic surgery.
Wow.
And the beauty industry is valued at like an estimated $532 billion, and it keeps growing every year.
Wow.
So as far as the second half is concerned, which is the naked women part, right?
Right. Yeah.
The amount of money spent here is equally as staggering. The porn industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry that has been around for decades now, and it's estimated to be worth a whopping $97 billion globally. And just in the U.S., we are responsible for between 12 and 14 billion dollars of that annual revenue.
Wow, that's a lot of not delivered pizza orders and plumbing issues there.
I mean, how many plumbing issues do guys have, out there?
Well, there's a lot of women.
Well, women have the plumbing issues.
Women
guys come over, right? And then the '70s porn music stars. Bow, bow, ow, ow,
there you go.
Ow. I'm in the wrong profession apparently.
Yeah.
Maybe a plumber or pizza delivery guy.
That would be the thing to be in. Well, actually, breaking it out as an area that's has disparity between what men get paid in that industry and what women get paid. Women get paid quite a bit of money in that industry, whereas men just, I guess, get to show up.
They do.
They're not, making the bank, as it were.
Have you noticed the slight hypocrisy though in like when women talk about equal pay and stuff? They're never bitching about the fact that female models make way more than male models.
Way more.
OnlyFans is dominated by females, and they're just raking in the money. I mean, females can literally, Dwayne, take pictures of their feet and become millionaires by feet pictures.
Farts, actually. There was a 90-Day Fiance lady that was making, I think, over $100,000 a month selling fart jars. Oh, my God. I mean, me and my buddies back in grade school, we made fart jars. We didn't make any money off of it, but we never sold them. That was maybe the advertising or the distribution process wasn't where it needed to be. But yeah, this lady makes over $100,000 a month selling farts.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know what to say to that. I just don't. I knew a woman who would wear the same pair of panties multiple days in a row and then sell them before she washed them. Sell them for guys to sniff. Or
whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Admire. Yeah.
I don't know what's more disgusting, the fact that women are doing it or the fact that men are buying it. I think it's the fact that men are buying it. I mean, women wouldn't do it if men weren't buying that stupid shit.
And that's the thing. Yeah. Men will, spend their money on that. Well, in our industry, everything that's surrounding beauty, I mean, or news, anything that's on TV, you don't pay to see some guy, you pay to see a girl do it.
Yeah.
And that sells still to this day. So,
yep. I mean, so beauty sells and just women, they have an opportunity to, I don't want to say not acquire important skills, but I mean, selling farts in a jar is not really the most, you don't have to go to college to do that, I suppose. Right. So, I mean, they have that opportunity to do those.
Yeah. I don't think, I would have actually, I could have tested out of that course in college if that was the case, but actually
you would have been a straight A student.
I've been straight A. Yeah. We actually have a comment. We're actually educating people. Jeffrey Redmond here. He actually later said that he messed up the autocorrect there.
Yeah.
But we're educating.
Yes. Jeff.
For Jeff. Yes. There is a young lady. She was on 90-Day Fiance, and she makes somewhere around $100,000 a month selling farts in a jar. Google it. You'll see the pictures and you name it. And that is how men are. That's how, or I should say how some men are.
Yeah.
That they're that, Then there's the more distinguished men.
Oh, like
me.
My good friend here. Yeah.
So what do we got tonight? We're going to talk about unintentional things that women do to turn men on.
Yeah, we're talking about women and how the whole women believe that there was only two things that men like, which is basically naked women and beauty or whatever. But
maybe it's
for many women, being sexy, it often means like focusing on their physical appearances. I get it. Society has kind of conditioned women to believe that their beauty and sex appeal are the most important traits that they have. And they try to attain, the ideal body shape or body style Women are trying to wear fashionable clothing. They're putting on makeup to appeal to men, and all that's understandable. However, but this view might not be the standard or the general view for all men, right?
Right.
I'm not saying men don't like good looking women and sex appeal, but there's a lot of things that I think are overlooked that are attractive to men that women may not be aware that that's happening. So, I mean, look, it's no wonder why so many women believe those are the only two things that turn men on because of all the money spent in those areas. I get it.
Right.
And although those are very, very fair points, it's definitely good places to start. The truth is, though, there are far more things that women do to turn men on that are overlooked by women every single day. So for everybody out there, of course, as always, here to help me enlighten the women across the world on these commonly overlooked areas is no other than the creator of Pissed Off Parent himself, my close friend, Dwayne Ward. So Dwayne, now you and I know that there are many things other than simply beauty and a naked body that turns men on. We've had these conversations ourselves. Yeah. Why do you think that those are the only two things that gets the gears turning on men? Or do you even think that there's more than just those two things?
Well, some of it, personal opinion, is that, for your younger generation, your teens, early 20s, maybe even into the 30s, they're the ones that they're in heat and that's all that they're thinking about. So they're just looking for, wow, I didn't know about the,
look at that. In Japan, Jeremy says
Japan. Okay.
I mean, they have, is that true, Jeremy? Do they literally have vending machines?
I'm going to probably have to assume that they probably do. I mean, Japan has a very interesting, culture in that.
Do we want to click on this?
It's Stephanie Mata. Yeah, that was the 90 Day Fiance girl.
Oh, this is the selling farts in jars.
Okay. That's the girl that's selling farts in jars. Yes, I mean it's truly, and she's actually a cute girl, crazy as a $3 bill. I mean, and again, I think we've mentioned a number of times. Brandy and I love to watch smut TV, 90 Day Fiance, Love After Lockup, all those not all these type of reality shows, because we sit there and laugh because they're all just a hot mess, and we just laugh at just kind of how crazy they all are, the world of hypocrisy they live in, and just all the nuttiness going on. But yeah, that's how we learned about Stephanie Mata. But anyway, but back to the kids, young men, teens, 20s, early 30s. That's probably what society is conditioned that's all they should care about, because unfortunately a lot of women, that's all they bring to the table is youth and beauty. That's it. They don't bring the wisdom and the other things that for the older, more distinguished gentlemen, as myself, yes, I'm quite distinguished, that we would be looking for. Because I don't care if a woman's an 11. I mean, I'm going to say it right now, not just because I know my wife is on the show, but I got a unicorn. I mean, she's hot, smart, and I have my own things that turn me on about her, and the list is long, and sometimes not distinguished. It's just a lot of things, but I'm madly in love with the woman, and that's one of my things, is being in love with my wife. Is a lot of things that probably most people be like, what? I'm like, oh yeah, turns me on.
Yeah.
But for the older crowd, beauty and youth, and the fake nails, all the fake stuff, those things don't matter to at least some of us older guys. I won't speak for all the old guys, but it doesn't matter to us old people. We're looking for, there's a joke. I don't want a young girl. I want a girl that recognizes the signs of a heart attack and a stroke and a seizure.
Once you get a certain age, that's what's attractive about her.
Exactly. When I
start going, and she breaks out her CPR AED certification card, you're like, whoa.
Oh yeah. When she performed CPR on me that one night when I had an episode, I'm like, this is the girl I'm going to marry. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you want that, but no, it's. But they bring something besides, their body or their face to the table. And this for older men. And again, for a number of older men, at least 50+% of us, we've gone through the anti-family court system. We've been screwed by these beautiful, hot girls
Yeah.
that are crazy, or we see all the drama associated. When I see a
Yeah.
quote hot girl, I assume she is beyond nuts.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm too old to put up with that drama. I want nothing to do with it. I don't care how hot you are. If I was single and for some strange, ungodly reason, a 10 came up to me and said, "Oh, I love Transformers," and I would go, "You're too nutty. I want nothing to do with you." She's so. I mean, that's.
Are you saying that people who like Transformers are nutty?
We are
Okay.
rather crazy. Yes. Well, there's definitely something wrong with us.
There's at least a screw missing somewhere.
There's a whole set. There's that whole bag of extra or parts in the toolkit that are missing from that. But I mean, if a 10 were to come up to me and say, you're what I want, I would not want to have anything to do with them, because I would probably look at them and within 5 minutes figure out that they were crazy. They had a bazillion exes. They are just crazy. They're in jail all the time. They have bad credit. All those things that aren't important, or things that would be important to me, having, stability and being able to sit there and talk about things and share and grow. And, those, I'm just a guy looking for love.
Yeah. And you're right, man. I mean, there's been a ton of times where I've said, even on the shows, that I've dated 9s, 10s. I mean, some beautiful, beautiful women, mostly when in my 20s, because I only cared about looks mostly back then. But to the point that you made, I can't think of one girl who was a stone cold knockout that was not batshit crazy. These girls were alcoholics. They were druggies. They were club chicks. I mean,
body count is high.
Body counts are through the roof. I mean, these are not keepers, And when you start getting a little older, I think I can speak for a lot of men, and I've said this before too on my teachings, is that men after a certain age, let's call it 35 years old, we will absolutely go down in looks to go up in cooperation.
Yeah.
Because once you start cohabitating with a woman, she's in your space. You get kind of kicked in the sack a few times by women, whether that's in divorce court or whether that's just heartbreaks. You start to realize that, hey, you know what? The beauty thing. I mean, this
juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Man, I tell you, it's just more than I want to handle. And guys just want peace. So there's always that balance, right? Between, like, you want your woman to be sexy, but then the problem is that you don't want her to be sexy for every guy out there too. So there's there's an understandable confusion that women might have, where they go, well, hold on. I mean, so what is it that you want? Do you want us to look hot, or do you not want us to look hot? The reality is this, ladies. I mean, culture is derived mostly off of, and it always has been since the dawn of time, culture is derived mostly off of art, it's music, and it's plays, or in our modern era, movies, right? Those three facets mostly influence the culture of where we're at. When you look at the 70s and 80s and 90s and early 2000s and the 10s and the 20s now, you can kind of see a shift in the music and the TV shows. And then you also see a shift in, how people are brought up and what they're focused on and things like that.
Right.
Now, I mean, the world's telling women that you have to walk around looking like a night walker.
Street walker. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and yes, they will get a ton of attention. And I know women love attention, but it's not the attention that women ultimately want. Women love attention, but they don't want attention where every guy is just looking to bed them. Right. And you hear it when they complain about men, and you hear it when they go, where are all the good men at? Why can't I find the men who want relationships? Yeah. Well, come on. I mean, if you don't be pissed off that people only want cinnamon rolls when all you advertise is juicy ass cinnamon rolls. If you want someone to buy something else, then don't go flaunting the fact that you're a cinnamon roll place. And also too, you remember that rib place, Tony Roma's, back in the days?
Mm-hmm.
There's a place called Tony Roma's, right? They were known for their ribs, at least in the Southeast. I don't know if Tony Roma's was everywhere. But you go to Tony Roma's for freaking ribs. Well, how could you be a cook at Tony Roma's complaining that everybody that comes in only orders the damn ribs? We have salads, we have appetizers, we have burgers, we have fries. Why ribs? Look, you're Tony effing Roma's, man. You're known for your ribs. Don't get
Sponsored
mad
by Tony Romo's.
yeah. So if all you're doing is advertising sex appeal, then sex is probably what you're going to attract. That's
Right.
all I'm saying. And I'm here to share, Dwayne and I are here to share with the ladies on, look, here are some other things that men find uber attractive, ultimately attractive, that does not require your puppies hanging out for the world to see. So let's go ahead and just dive into it. I mean, let's talk about some of the commonly overlooked things that women do that drive men crazy, whether they know it or not. And before we get started, I want to emphasize that, the human desire is complex and it's unique to each individual person.
Right.
But we're just here to explore some common themes and behaviors that men have talked about regularly. I'm not going to be able to cover them all. There's going to be guys in the comment section that go, I find this attractive. Fair enough, bro. But these are some of the ones that I hear on a regular basis. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about some of the things that are talked about regularly. But of course, what one person finds sexy will vary from person to person. So ladies, ultimately listen to your man and find out the things that you do that drive him crazy. Okay. While I'm thinking about it, folks on Facebook and folks on YouTube, don't forget to support the page by liking, sharing the page, or subscribing to the account. I'm happy to say that we are really close to Dad Talk Today having 1.5 million subscribers over all of our social media networks. And I believe last month we had somewhere between around 30 million views total for the month on people clicking it in. So we really do appreciate your support. I'm really trying to help Dwayne and Eric get this page up by more subscribers. So guys, don't forget to like and subscribe the page. Also, too, let's go through the comment section. Oh, look who's on. Clover. Hey, Clover, you're back. Hey. I missed you. It's good to see some familiar faces. We got Jeremy B back. Alicia, I saw Alicia back, and who else is on? Oh, Jules, I saw Jules whenever she first in the beginning, and then our good friend General Miller. My father was on Love After Lockup. Is that
really?
Right? Holy cow!
Send me who that is, because we watch Love After Lockup.
That's one of the shows that you watch, isn't it?
Yes, every Friday night at 8:00 Central. Wife and I are in bed watching it, going, "Oh my god, yeah!" You want to watch toxic relationships? Love After Lockup. Oh my god! But yeah, actually,
Sargonsky's on.
Shoot me a message. Tell me who that is, because I probably know who it. Or if you tell me the name, I'll know which one it was.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. Let's talk about what men find sexy in women. Okay, so contrary to conventional view, men find factors other than looks to be attractive in women. It's not just only looks. So if you're a woman and you think the same way that other women think, which is men like sexy women, and you work exclusively or mostly on making yourself to be as sexy as possible, okay, what you do think, like what do you think men will honestly want most from you? It's the sex, right? So if you find yourself in situations where
really,
it's true. It's
what?
True.
Wait,
yes.
If all you project is sex, that's all you'll get?
The logic is it's hard to add that one up, but I think it's true.
I gotta get back to you on that one. That just doesn't come out. I don't
So
know.
think about this, right? If ladies are finding themselves in situations where all the men that they meet seem to only be interested in sleeping with you, then you have to be open to the possibility that you're attracting the very thing you don't want, because some of you look like you're wearing a sex uniform. Right. Like you look like a sex worker's uniform, right? If you walk into Target wearing a red shirt and black pants, you can't be mad if people are asking you for help. If you're wearing a police uniform out in public, can you really be mad that people mistaken you for a law enforcement officer?
Exactly.
So then why are some people surprised that men see women as a sex object when some of these women are literally walking around looking like a call girl? Yeah. So there are plenty of things that you can still do to attract the attention of men without using yourself as like sex bait. Things like a woman's intelligence, a woman's humor, her confidence, her femininity. Those are some factors that draw men's attention. Mm-hmm. Focus on these things and you'll start grabbing the attention of relationship sinking men.
Right.
These traits reflect women's personality, which is crucial in building long-lasting relationships. Furthermore, men also find qualities like kindness, empathy, a nurturing nature also sexy in women because those traits signify loving and caring characters.
And men want feminine women.
It is absolutely true.
Are you making a connection here?
There's a couple brain sparks that are sparking here.
Yeah, wow, that's weird. Okay.
So, when you look at some of those qualities like empathy and nurturing and kindness, men find those sexy because those traits indicate a loving and caring character, which can be incredibly attractive to men when they're looking, hear me out, when those men are looking for a partner to build a relationship with.
Right.
So forgive me because some things seem so obvious, but it doesn't seem obvious to other people. And I promise I'm not trying to be condescending. It's just, I don't understand how, if you portray one thing and it attracts something, like if you put honey out and it attracts bees and you don't want bees and you want, let's say, something else, well, then put the proper thing out to attract that. Right.
Right.
And I really think that if a woman portrays herself with things other than sexy lingerie, outfits that look like she could be a creature of the night, she's probably going to get men that are looking for personal infrastructure rather than looks on the outside.
Right.
So let's go through a couple things that are unintentional things that women do to turn men on. One thing that men have said a lot that they love or find sexy is when women bite their lip when they're talking to each other. They like when women bite their lips, it can like exude like a sexy or confidence about them,
Yeah.
That subtle gesture can be a sign of flirtation, and it oftentimes is, and
Right.
it gives men indications of those women's interest.
Right. We get
And
cues.
men, if you haven't noticed, men are not exactly mind readers, and sometimes we're just downright dumb and dull. Sometimes you have to go, hey, I like you, come talk to me.
Exactly.
So when you're in conversation and you bite your lip from time to time, a portion, not all, but a portion of men will see that as like an indication of interest, and it also shows that women are being comfortable with themselves. They're not afraid of their sensual nature, and ultimately it's very playful. It's also an attractive behavior that can turn men on and lead to interesting interactions between both parties.
Yeah, it's not, again, universal, because some people that they find that attractive. People like me are like, hey, you need some chapstick? Is everything okay? Oh, I hate when I bite my, lip because that's going to hurt for a couple days. It's not universal across the board.
Yep. Another thing that I think some women probably would know they do this, or maybe they don't, because a lot of like really cute, sexy women do this. And I think it's just because of their innocence. Ladies, you tell me if you know you're doing this on purpose, but when women play with their hair.
Oh, that's a universal. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it? Okay.
Yeah. That's
so,
I know that one.
Yeah. So, twirling, tucking it behind their ears, they do this kind of thing,
But I guess with some of us on the show here, that's more of a little jealousy thing.
Are you referring to?
Maybe. No. Let's move on. Let's just go ahead and move on. Yeah.
Maybe you can tuck your flowing locks behind your hair, but
in the 80s, I rocked the longer hair. I'm just going to throw it out.
Well, in the 80s, I had an afro. So what are you saying? I rocked some hair back then too.
Okay, I'm making a note. Photoshop.
I probably could have joined the Jackson 5 with my afro back then.
Wow, had the throw. Okay, back in the day. Cool.
So like whenever women are messing with their hair and that cute little feminine thing, it can be like a sexy and mesmerizing characteristic of women, and doing these actions, Dwayne, it can showcase their femininity, their grace, their elegance, and it's a little subtle movement, but it can attract men's attention, and it oftentimes done, and even be irresistible to some men. Like some men are just go kind of crazy with women playing with their hair.
Right.
Hair is often seen like a woman's crowning glory. Women love their hair. If you really want to upset a woman, cut her hair. She'll go crazy on you.
Read Song of Solomon from the Good Book. They talk about hair and the power and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Song of Solomon is actually, if you read it and understand the context, it's a very sexualized book of the Bible. Who would have thought? But yeah,
Yeah.
that's some good stuff in there. Anyway.
So, so ladies playing with their hair, it just
Mhm.
kind of adds to their beauty and their appeal.
Yeah.
I think overall, it's an involuntary behavior that women do. I don't think they really know they're consciously doing it sometimes, and it can be alluring. It can be an excellent way to exude femininity, is what I'm going to say.
Are you a long hair kind of guy or a short hair pixie cut? I'm assuming not the Karen do. What's your hairstyle?
Definitely not the Karen do. My preference is blonde or dark hair. That's my preference.
Okay, but as far as hair length,
I like long hair, like most men do. But I tell you, there is something about a woman with short hair. I don't know what it is. I like that too, like right at the shoulders and stuff. I don't know. I don't want to get all personal with everybody out there.
Oh, no, please.
One of my, like, how everybody has like a couple certain body parts that they just find sexy.
Yeah.
One of the body parts that I personally find sexy on a woman is her neck. So like whenever she plays with her hair and she kind of puts it behind her ear and her neck is exposed. Yeah. And I think that's why I might like short hair sometimes too, because you can see the neck and it's like exposed and it's just, and they're all, I think that's where they spray the perfume. They just smell so good. It's like, oh, damn, man.
But it can't look like a pack of hot dogs like mine does.
Like what? Like your hair does?
Yeah, like the back of my head. It's like a 6-pack of hot dogs.
Oh, yeah. Because of the skin? Yes. Yeah. I prefer that not to look like a 6-pack of hot dogs. Yes. I ain't looking at your neck anyways, all right, buddy? So But another
I'm checking my odds right now. I'm taking notes right now for you. Like, oh, he likes this kind. Okay.
Another thing that men find sexy in women that they sometimes may not know that men find sexy is confidence. There's a power in confidence. So confidence is one of those attractive qualities. I think that
Can you differentiate between confidence and being a bee? And I'm a strong, confident self. What's their famous tagline on 99% of all their
independent, strong, don't need no man kind of a thing?
That one, yeah. You don't mean that when you say
I certainly don't. And well said. I think when it comes to men, I think women find men who are confident attractive, but there's a thin line actually between confidence and cockiness.
Yes.
And women do not find cockiness in men sexy. And to your point, when it comes to women, I think men will find some confidence attractive in women, but there's a thin line between confidence in a woman and her just being a bee. Like a my shit don't stink kind of a thing. Like the whole world revolves around me. Look at me all day. We don't like that. There's been songs literally written on men who like women that are beautiful, but they don't know they're beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah, because what they're basically saying is they want beauty, but they don't want her to have crossed that line of confidence to be into that B realm. They want her to be humble and almost not even know that she's beautiful, because there's an innocence and a genuinity behind that. When a woman exudes like self-assuredness, it can be really enticing to men. I think confidence often goes hand in hand with like a sense of independence and the ability to hold engaging conversations. It's nice to, and I know this definitely is for you, Dwayne. It's nice to be able to have and hold down a conversation of some substance with a woman, right? So when she's confident, and you can actually have an engaging conversation with her, that's attractive.
Very.
Because men who, this is my opinion, I don't know any polls on this, men who are above the bell curve in intellect, I just don't think they could ever really have a long lasting relationship with a woman who's daft. They really need a woman who, has something to offer up there. No matter how beautiful she is, he would probably eventually, without even wanting to, start to run all over her like condescending. There's going to be condescending.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately, both parties, men and women, really appreciate having good, genuine, honest conversations with each other. And I know women love that in men. I know that, but I want to really express the fact that men also love that in you guys too. So a confident woman definitely knows what she wants. It can be a powerful magnet for men. That's my point. You know, another thing too, and this goes both ways. I've heard this from women to men and also men to women, is the art of mystery. Women love mysterious men. I think we've talked about that on a previous podcast before. But another element that can be incredibly alluring is mystery. Women who leave a little to the imagination can pique a man's curiosity and his desire. And it's not about being secretive. That's not what I mean.
Yeah.
It's more rather about like an air of intrigue.
Right. Yeah.
Right. There's something about her, you know, like it makes men go, I want to be in this woman's space more. I need to be around her more. You know, tell me more about you. So if you get a man who's he just wants to know everything he can about you. I don't know if I necessarily would go and explain everything in depth to a man, right? In the dating, the beginning of dating, because leave a little bit of mystery there. It gets people coming back.
Be honest about stuff.
Be honest, you know, don't be secretive. You know, I'm not saying lie.
Big difference, yeah.
Just don't over explain all the time. Like, you know, leave a little era of a mystery there. Because I want you to, ladies, I want you to be intriguing. That's a point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
So, you know, this could mean leaving some things unsaid or just being a little bit unpredictable from time to time. You know, so it's not about lying or manipulating or not speaking the truth.
Secrets and
none of that.
Yeah, and if you're still wondering, like, what does he mean? We may need to do a show on that because it's just a lot. There's a lot to explain. But like, I don't know, when my wife found out that I knew how to do plumbing, for example, I didn't tell her on our first date, oh yeah, I know how to be a plumber. We were, had a situation where I had to replace a sink, and I'm like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. And she was just kind of shocked that I knew, even though I didn't let on that I wasn't like, hey, I'm a plumber, but she just figured out that'd be like one kind of a weird example. Men want their women to have, some intrigue that makes you thirst for them, hunger for them. That's an art that's been lost at least maybe in the last 50 years or something. That just doesn't exist anymore. Men want that, to have that, learn about their woman. I mean, because really, men want to learn about their spouse or men about their woman and vice versa for their entire lives. That's part of the marriage or the long-term relationship. That's part of it, is you learn more about that person. Hell, my wife learned something about me Saturday afternoon. We can probably get into that more later because that's actually one of the things that turns me on. But that probably came out wrong now that I'm saying it out loud like that.
You know what really turns women on though?
Huh?
Is when men fix dryers. Very sexy. It's very, very sexy.
Yes.
I'm guessing your dryer broke in your house, right?
Yeah, well, it broke 3-4 months ago, and
everything's breaking in your house, man.
I know. Air conditioner, I had to fix that a couple weeks ago. The dryer broke. I fixed it, and then it's one of those I knew I should have changed the rollers in it, and I'm like, I don't want to do it. It's been a couple hours already, so I put it together, and like a month later, the rollers start going. And well, then the rollers are vibrating the dryer, and I've already got the parts ready to go. I'm waiting for it actually to go out of town so I can get a full day just to kind of do it. And then that actually caused the part that I repaired to break again. So it's actually not heating the dryer. So I'm like, oh, so later tonight, tomorrow, whatever, I need to go ahead and get that fixed. But yeah.
So when we kind of started this podcast, we were talking about the obvious things that women, or things that women think are obvious that men want, which is like sexiness and naked men, naked women and things like that, right? So women will wear very provocative things and to attract the attention of men. Well, ladies, I'm going to share something with you that you may not know. Some of you will, most of you may not. And it is that you don't actually have to dress provocative or sexy to grab the attention. One of the things that men have said they liked is when women wear oversized clothing. So like women who wear these oversized clothing can unconsciously exude sexiness and mystery to men.
I'll be right back. That's actually, we're at Sam's Club yesterday, and we're walking around, and I look over and I see plaid little fuzzy pajamas, and I'm like, let me get this and put it in the old cart for the lady.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? And again, we've been together for a long time. And she's like, wait, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm putting it in the cart. We need to get that. And she's like, wait, that turns you on? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, I've never bought that. And I'm like, well, I'm helping here.
Because, it kind of goes back to that mystery thing. It leaves a little bit to the imagination, more so than form-fitting attire. That, there's a hidden charm of like an unstructured outfit that can come from loose-fitting clothes that can really display random glimpses of like her curves or her skin. And it also can be suggestive of a partner's shirt to men. Like when women wear our shirts oversized, right? Oversized. Well, my shirts are definitely oversized. I think that's sexy when a woman wears a man's shirt.
Except when she steals them all and won't give them back.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for my Transformers shirt back, by the way, lady.
Mm-hmm.
She's watching.
Yeah.
No, she steals them.
She probably has it hidden somewhere.
Now, those are the ones that have a hole in it or something like that. It was actually funny. She did wear one of my shirts I had ripped. Because, guys, we don't get rid of clothes.
No.
I don't.
No.
I have a shirt. It has a hole right here. And I kept, love the shirt. It's comfy. I can work on the house with it, and I don't have to worry about keeping it. I can still mess with it or whatever. And she wore the shirt to bed one night, and she's like, "Oh my God, this has a hole in it." I'm like, "Talk slower." just drinking it all in, taking a mental picture. Snap, 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 snap. I'm good.
Yeah, I personally find it attractive when women wear maybe a shirt of mine or whatever, and I think it triggers like scenarios of intimacy and closeness. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Additionally, it can kind of highlight a woman's confidence and assertiveness in her style, and that can reflect positively on her overall attractiveness, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, oversized clothing. It can be understated, to be honest. I think there's an alluring factor that can really catch the attention of men when women wear those men's clothing. There's just a personal thing about it. And I love it. It's a double-edged sword. I love it when she finds one of my shirts that she just is her favorite shirt. I love that. On the other hand, I don't like it because, to your point, it usually ends up missing and you never get it back, right?
Exactly.
But I think it's very attractive. And I don't have kids. If I had a daughter, I would be really afraid to raise my daughter in today's world. My hat's off to all the men and women watching this show who are raising daughters right now in a world where sex is advertised like candy is. And, your daughter will come. I hear stories where the daughter comes downstairs and you go, "You are not leaving wearing that." And then you have to fight this battle with her. And then she says you don't love her. It's just a huge mess, right? Because you're trying to instill good morals and values to your daughters, but the world is out there saying, don't be a prude, get out there and have fun, live your best life. And then we all know what happens when women, get broken hearts and men don't want to keep them and they just want to use them for what's between their legs. It breaks the heart, mind, and spirit of women out there, But I am here to tell women, I'm here to tell you right now that, in my opinion, some of the most attractive women in the world were 1900 prior, when they looked like those men would wear the suits, or the women would wear these outfits that were kind of the equivalent of a male suit. You did not see much skin at all, but she looked elegant. She looked. You know what? I'm gonna show you what I mean.
You like restraint, don't you? Like it's not revealing, and it's
like restraint, like in bondage. Yeah, I like that.
Okay. There we go.
Restraint?
Hey, this show has just moved from PG to no, like they would wear the bustiers and the things that would kind of constrict, but it would be form fitting, which showed fit, and that's the type of girl that you like. I mean, when you gaze upon a young lady, you like fitness. But having that, there you go.
So
and
yeah,
elegant.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but
I didn't mean
elegant.
to talk over. Yeah. So I saw this on IG, and I tell you, this woman is gorgeous, but it's not just because she's a beautiful woman. I love the way this woman dresses. And watch how other men and other women look at this woman. This woman's not showing any booty. She's not showing any tatas. This woman looks like $1,000,000. Check this one out.
Yeah, she has the confidence. She has the poise. She seems well educated. I mean, making assumptions here, but she has a confidence, and she again, saying poised, and she has an air about her.
Yep. I mean, look at that. That's attractive. That's sexy. And then look how the other women are dressed. Kind of that's kind of like your norm,
Yeah.
But that's what I find attractive. So I'm just here to say that, ladies, you don't have to show skin, you don't have to show private parts to attract the attention of men. If you dressed with a beautiful dress like that, and you look like, and you want to know what else too, that lady that I just showed you, do you honestly think that any man would ever come up to her and say some one-off stupid thing like that would even imply having sex with her? No. If a man got her phone number, you think he's going to send a freaking eggplant pic to that woman?
Probably not. Yeah.
Probably not, right?
Right.
Because I tell you what, there will be men who would be intimidated by a woman like that.
I was getting ready to say there's probably a lot of men that are intimidated by her because she does exude those things. And the thing is it's probably good that she intimidates those, needs to get rid of the riffraff, and
that's it.
Make herself ready for a real man.
That's right. And men who know that they haven't worked on themselves, that they don't have much to offer other than what's between their legs, they're not landing a woman like that.
Yeah.
They are not landing a woman like that. And a man who is silver-tongued and can talk his way into the bed of most women, he's probably not talking his way into her bed either. Like, there is nothing about that woman that would make anyone believe that she would be promiscuous, or she would have an IG account that shows her in bikinis to 1.8 million. Like,
she ain't got OnlyFans.
Yeah, she don't have an OnlyFans.
Right.
So that's just what I'm thinking. Let's go to the comment section. All right.
Do we need to take like a was it a timeout break for a minute or two?
Yes.
We'll be right back
after that.
Well, here's one though. Let's go ahead and get.
I was going to say, Targansi says, as comfy can be sexy. Yep. Comfortable can definitely be sexy. Clover, Jimmy, you would be a great dad. Thank you, Clover. You would be wise enough to cultivate intimacy with your daughter so that way she would trust you in her judgment. I appreciate that. I wish I had kids. I would have made a great father. I don't know why I think that. I think I would have, though.
Yeah.
And Alicia says, mystery. You got it. Yep, absolutely.
Here's one. This is a big one for me. I do not like women with war paint. Natural beauty all the way. 99.9% of her needs to be natural beauty.
You referring to makeup?
Makeup. The war paint. And again, I'm a 3, so let's have, take my advice for what it is. If you're looking for a guy like me, listen carefully.
You're right, though. I mean, most guys don't like women that have a lot of makeup.
Yeah. I mean, when you gotta put it on with a spatula, that just no. That men, at least this guy, does not find that attractive any way, shape, or form at all. I mean, women, they seem to think they love it. They talk about it. They spend lots of money on it. But I would say for at least the guys I know, they could care less about that. And I get a little bit of lipstick here or some eyeshadow, like a light, whatever, a light dusting, as I call it. That's okay in the right scenarios. But to me, nothing sexier than a natural beauty.
I agree. I mean, no man wants to be with a woman who's a 4 and then she can get made up within 45 minutes or an hour and she's a 7, because that's false advertising, buddy. That's what I think. That's false advertising.
No, we're getting a question here. Do you guys like tattoos?
You know, if everyone has preferences,
Yeah.
my preference would be if she would not have tattoos. But I'm not gonna kick you out of bed if you have a tattoo. I would prefer she doesn't have a full back tattoo.
No tramp stamps.
Yeah, I mean,
not her previous ex-husband's name on her forehead or
right
on her boob or something like that. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a daughter, I would talk her into not getting tattoos. And here's my logic. Okay, ladies, think about this. If you were dating a man and you guys decided to buy your first house together, if you showed up the first day to your new house to the surprise that he had already decorated the house for you, how would you feel about it? When the furniture and the decor and the colors were already picked. Does that mean you're not going to live in the house? No, but that's not exactly the colors you would have picked, would have been. It's not exactly the furniture you would have picked.
Right.
So when women have tattoos and they meet a guy, that may not be the artwork that he might like. That's all I'm saying. That's my logic. And, if a guy has a bunch of tattoos, I'm sure he doesn't care. I would want my daughter to have the widest possible spectrum of available men that she could for her to pick out of that pool. And if you have tattoos, it doesn't mean you don't have any available men. I just think that the pool is now this.
Yeah.
So it may not be a lot, but it's this now, and the more tattoos you get, the more the more niche of a man who doesn't mind or actually likes it is going to have to be. And I think you're just limiting your options. That's my personal opinion. So that's my take on it. Again, I don't think it's a big deal, but if I could wave a wand and, pick my preference, it would be no tattoos. I like my women, scar free. I like her heart pure and innocent, and I like no stress on her. And I'm the kind of man that will do all that I can to make sure that all the stresses of life do not reach her shoulders. They're put onto my shoulders, and I want her to live a seemingly oblivious life because I want her to live a stress-free life.
All right.
So that's my thought. One thing that I think we all agree on, and a lot of men say this, that they love when women do this, is whenever they have like a playfulness or a sense of humor. Someone said humor in the comments section.
Yeah, someone had mentioned humor earlier on. Yeah,
it was Alicia. Yeah, she's humor's good. I mean, laughter is the universal language of attraction.
Placement in the bedroom, no. I have scars and stories now.
A great sense of humor can be a powerful turn on for many men. I've heard them say that before. Women who can be playful, women who can have fun, whether that's through like a witty banter or whether that's shared laughter, it can create strong connections and ignite desire. So I don't think that, I think there's a limit to it. I don't want you to be like a stand-up comedian everywhere you go, but definitely humor is a big one. And I've noticed that women really love men who make them laugh.
Yeah.
They
got Brandy.
And women tend to say that or imply they have a little bit of sarcasm, and they enjoy when men give the volley back and forth with their sarcasm, and if you get a man who's playful, she likes that. And I think that's the same thing. Men who are a little more playful and carefree will tend to like women who have a sense of humor. But even the most stoic of men who don't really, have a whole lot of humor invested in them, they're still going to prefer a woman who's fun and funny.
Right.
It's not a bad trait to be funny, right?
Well, men deal with the ills of society and all. We're slaying the dragons out there. We want to come home. That's our castle, our place of to calm down, and we want our mate to keep us calm. Laughter is one way of doing it.
Yeah. So Jeff loves it, man. He loves the ink.
Nah, hey, everybody's different.
And there's some really good ink out there. There really is.
Yeah.
Again, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be kicking some of these good looking women out of bed if they show up with a tattoo on them. I'm just kind of giving my personal preference. But there's guys out there like Jeff who actually sounds like he prefers it.
Yeah,
cool. Everyone's different, man. To each their own. What's next? Let me think. What else do women do unintentionally that men would find sexy? Making eye contact. Like maintaining eye contact with a man can exude confidence as well, assertiveness, a sense of seduction for women. When women maintain eye contact, while communicating, it can be a signal that they are attentively and actively listening and in control sometimes of the conversation. They're engaging, and men like to talk and know that the person is actually receiving what they're saying. It can generate like a sense of authority that can be alluring to some men. Additionally, eye contact can show that they are comfortable in their own skin, willing to express themselves freely. And, that can be a sign of confidence, like I said. It also can signify like, a interest in the person that they're conversating with, which gives off subtle hints of seduction or attraction.
Well, if you're interested in them, you're going to maintain eye contact. If you're on your phone or doing whatever, 3 different things instead of looking at them, it tells the guy you're not interested.
That's 100%, right? Yeah. So, women, that is one thing that you can do that men do find attractive, making eye contact with them. Men are generally the ones who are going to pursue. Women are not the ones who generally pursue. And men have a really hard time, especially in today's world, which is why men don't come up to a lot of women like they used to 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Right.
Because we live in a world where women are so polarized in what they feel is offensive. Don't come talk to me. Don't you approach me. And then some women go, hey, where's all the guys who approach? My point in saying that is that if a woman makes eye contact with a man from across the room, that can be another subtle hint that she has interest in that man. And you don't have to stare him down. But you know how like whenever you're looking at someone and then they are looking away and they turn to look at you, if you saw they were looking, you might turn away instantly. But if you are looking at them and they look at you and you catch eyes for 2 seconds, 3 seconds, that's enough time for them to feel that frequency that you're giving off, and
the vibe.
I say, throw the eye contact in there and then bite the lip. There you go. While you're wearing oversized clothes.
Right. That'll be
just throw them all together. But I think that you can't go wrong with a little bit of eye contact. It shows that there's an interest in the person. It shows that that you're engaged in the conversation, and men do appreciate people who are engaged, and it shows a level of respect to the person you're talking to as well. So another thing too, speaking of that, while I'm thinking about it, what about active listening and having general interest? You kind of alluded to that, right?
Yeah.
Having
some kind of interest in what you're talking about and being able to, at the very least, parrot back what they're hearing. Yeah, I personally find that because when I'm talking about something that I would find important, to have her respond back or at least parrot back or ask questions or whatever, that to me is attractive. That says, oh, okay, they value me. They're listening to me. They value what I say. I'm sitting there going, hey, we got to figure out, the 401k plan or how we're going to get this or how we're, what we're going to do here. And she's like, hey, maybe we should do this, this, and this, and this, or, what are your thoughts? And also doing it within that structure of the man-woman structure that we talk about all the time, doing it that way. That's very attractive to me.
Yeah, I think so too. I think men really appreciate that. Women, like whenever I teach men on how to do a little bit better on dating, I remind men to make sure that when you leave that date, you can honestly say that she talked more than you. If you talk more than her, then there's not a lot of second dates that come out of that. So I remind men to ask open-ended questions and be engaged in conversation with her. Well, the flip side is also important. So since we're talking to women today, women don't undervalue the value of your active listening and taking general interest in what he's saying. That men find very much attractive.
That's really lost, I think, on the youth of today. The under, so
Yeah.
sad I'm saying the under 35 crowd that tells how old I am. But the Socratic selling method. I mean, you've spent time in sales. You're familiar with the Socratic selling method.
Yes.
Asking,
For those who don't know, the Socratic method is basically, in a nutshell, whenever you answer a question with a question.
yeah, and you're asking open-ended question. You're not asking close-end question. A close-end question is, hey, Jimmy, can we go out tonight?
Now, I could either answer yes or answer no.
Or hell no, because I'm asking you. And
yes,
it just got weird.
You got too many hot dogs in the back of your neck. I'm not going out with you.
Yeah, I got the six roll going there. But like, oh hey, what are your thoughts about going out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or some other type of open? But I mean, those are open-ended questions. But that is like a art that has been lost today because we have our phones, we've got Tinder, Bumble, Rumble, whatever they all are, and kids today have lost that. They don't know how to communicate. It's outside of a text, which is so weird. That's something that needs to be taught again. Being able to communicate, or when they're, actually when we go out to dinner or lunch or whatever, I'm always obviously scanning the room for threats and all that because you know me. That's kind of who I am.
Always facing the door.
Oh yeah. It took Brandy not forever, but it took her a while to figure out that whole thing about what the seat that I take at a restaurant and why and what I'm doing and all that. It did take her a while to kind of go, why are you doing that? I'm like, because my job's to protect you. But when we go to restaurants, while I'm scanning everything, all I see is these couples on their phones the entire freaking time.
Yeah.
And it's like that art of communication and I mean, how can you possibly, find things to turn you on about your significant other if you've got your nose in your phone?
You really can't. I mean, the communication is a lost art, man. And I think, is there anybody out there who would disagree that communication is probably the best, most important thing you could have in a relationship? I think we all would agree on that. But yet, to your point, we stick our noses in our phones a lot. So, really think about the importance of active listening, taking general interest. It is active listening and general interest in a man's thoughts and his feelings. It can be really incredibly seductive to men. They love that stuff. When a woman shows that she cares enough or cares about what he's saying, it can make him feel valued and appreciated.
Yeah.
So, and that's an emotional connection that can be powerful aphrodisiac too. Men love to feel like they are leading and that their words mean something and they're wise and they're praised for it. They like the appreciation. So, ladies, take an active interest in listening and a general interest in what he has to say.
Well, this is the part that, I wish women would understand, and I'd love to get, Brandy on here to tell everybody this. But okay, so when I hold the door open in the car for Brandy to get in, I don't allow her to open the car door herself or go into doors and things like that. Yeah. Obviously, it's more work for me. She loves it. Of course, other people notice it. But the reason I like it is because I'm the man of the relationship, and that gives me that feeling of, that's why I love her even more, is I'm able to take care of her. Men, down to our DNA, I have to say real men because I know it gets cliched, but real men want to take care of their women.
They do.
And when we're not allowed to, or it devalues us and we don't find you attractive.
Ladies, ladies, you know how ladies, you guys will tell men that when men lead and they make you feel safe emotionally, you can now fall into your femininity and you feel now like you don't have to be the one with your hands on the steering wheel, and you feel like you can finally be more of a lady. You like the feeling of being a lady, right? Well, what Dwayne's trying to say is that the same thing applies for us. Whenever we are allowed to, do things for women that like holding the doors open or making sure you're protected and walking street side when we're down the street. I'll walk in front of you when we go down the stairs. I'll walk behind you when we go up the stairs in case you fall back. And then you actively recognize and appreciate that. that dude will always do it. Remember to not only talk to your man about the times that he does things wrong. Remember to also talk about the things that he does right, so that way he keeps on doing it. Because I promise you, it makes these men feel like more of a man, the way that the things that we do make you feel like more of a woman. One thing that men really, really love that women do when they fall into their femininity is that when women are very kind and they have empathy, men find that very much attractive, right? I've joked and said, hey, the number one thing I love about women is that they're not guys. So I don't want to date a dude, you know?
Right.
So I love the kindness and empathy qualities in a woman.
Here's a question for you that popped up here, and it may or may not go into. I may end up pissing a lot of people off here, but someone had asked, "What about enjoying sports and understanding sports? If your woman likes or understands sports, where do you sit on that?"
You know, if my woman doesn't enjoy sports, it's not that big of a deal. But I do like watching football, you know, from time to time. So if she has a favorite team, I think it's cute. But I'll be honest. And I don't know if this is the right way of feeling. I'm just going to be honest with my feelings.
This is you.
This is me.
No wrong answer.
I'm not speaking for anybody else. I'm speaking for myself. If my girl is a diehard football fan where she loves a team, I don't really like it, because you want to know how it makes me feel. It makes me feel like she's at sports bars around a whole bunch of dudes in the past before she was with me. And because I just picture her with a bunch of guys and alcohol, and she's partying it up. And
Peppermint Patty.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to envision my woman doing that. So that's my thought on it, you know. And as far as her like understanding the sports, I think it's cute. I think it's cute. Yeah. For me personally, I could take it or leave it. It doesn't really matter for me. But Dwayne, I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you like it or no?
Well, I'm anti-sports. I mean, I loved playing sports when I was younger, and you know, a number of different things there growing up. But I don't follow sports at all. Like, I don't know who's in the Super Bowl until that weekend. I mean, that's just how much I don't get into sports at all. So yeah, I think I made it on my Tinder profile. You know, must not like sports. But like, I guess in general, the women that I've seen, and again, this is all circumstantial evidence, but the women that I see that are into sports, they're very manly, someone I would not want to date or be around. And actually, you brought up a great example or a great situation there where, well, it's likely then that they're at sports bars, they're around dudes all the time. They're, you know, they probably pee standing up. I mean, it.
I hate when my woman pees standing up.
I know, you get a Sheena and the whole nine. Anyway, go off on a whole different tangent. But it just, I like my women. I like my women to be womanly. I want them to be feminine. Yeah. Because I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there. The fact that I, knock out the mortgage, knock out the bills, protect, serve. I'm the guy that's got, my second A with me, ready to take down whatever dragon comes my way. And I do this and do that. That is why I get up and breathe in the morning.
Yeah.
That makes me a man. That makes me, and when I see I'm protecting my spouse, it makes me want to, it turns me on. Those things turn me on about her, that I'm able to protect her, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah.
And I guess, rolling, that's how I, view the world. And of course, the sports situation, they're the ones, they're at the sporting events, and you're getting crazy and yelling at umpires and doing all kinds of weird stuff. That's not feminine to me. So I'm like, nope, not my jam.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. And guys on Facebook, guys and gals, everybody on Facebook, everybody on YouTube watching this live right now, sound off in the comments section if you guys don't mind. I love the engagement. If you guys don't mind, hit the like button. If you guys can, hit the subscribe button. If you feel that this podcast is going to be beneficial to someone you know, please go ahead and share it. Don't be afraid to do that. And Jeff, speaking of Jeff, because Jeff asked that question, I'm actually curious to see what Jeff thinks about it. Like, Jeff, do you like it when your woman knows the sports? If she knows what a nickel defense is, do you like it whenever she loves sports. I'm curious to see what he says. I don't know. I kind of think that maybe it'll probably a 50-50 across the board on that one. That's my guess. Is there like what were we talking about before? Oh yeah. We were talking about the kindness and empathy.
Right.
That's what we were talking about before, right? So I think that's pretty much universal. I think a lot of men would probably like when a woman is empathetic. I think that I think when a woman is empathetic and she's kind, it kind of creates a safe, nurturing environment, a good emotional connection, makes him feel more masculine because she's more feminine. I think that's kind of one thing. I've got one. I wasn't sure if I was going to say this one, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. So men love this one. Okay. And I'm not trying to be a creeper, but we love it when women stretch. When they stretch, I think that's sexy, man. Like when whether they're at the gym or they're at home or whatever. I mean, it can
stretch and get that can of peas on top of the cupboard.
No, like when they stretch with their legs, and like or in yoga class and stuff. They're over there as a whole class full of girls doing downward dogs. I'm just like, just keep looking this way. Okay. I'm trying not to look in the group fitness room, but they're making it extremely difficult for me to not look at the group fitness room. Okay, like there's something about a woman stretching and women are so flexible, and when a woman can show how flexible she is, that just makes me think right back into the bedroom. Yeah. That's how my brain works. I think that's probably how a lot of guys' brain works. So, I mean, a woman's body is just so attractive and sexy. When God made women, he was not play. He did it right. He did it right. So I think that, stretching kind of, I don't know, maybe it's the physical movement of stretching. It gives men a glimpse of their curves. It makes it seductive. It shows their athleticism, their commitment to taking care of their bodies, a lot of those things. I think, it highlights a lot of like attractive parts, of that woman's body, and, it's, you can, as a man, admire her, the female form. You can admire her female form. And it also, and I think that women sometimes stretch. I can't prove it, but I think that sometimes women stretch because it's like an innocent gesture that can be unintentionally, generate like a flirtation between two people. I think they use that sometimes to emphasize, how seduction can stem from just like an everyday activity.
Like
that's my thought.
The new age of the hanky being dropped on the ground.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. The hanky is a little more attractive than her, touching her toes, I mean, but I've always thought that was sexy.
So I like when Brandy like goes for the peas on like the third thing of the cabinet, when she stretches for that. I like that because she's only 5'3" and there's no way in hell she's going to make it. So I take that as an opportunity to go over there and help her reach the top level of that. And I'll stop there.
Yeah. In the grocery store, tiptoeing for the soup.
We got kicked out of the grocery store after that one.
Shout out to all my short girls out there who need a tall man to grab the soup off the top shelf. I got it for you, baby doll. I'll grab that soup can for you. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. But
what about a kind heart? Like philanthropic, donating of one's time, or motherly instincts when they mother, and I know it can be taken a few different ways, but when they're taking care of children.
Yeah.
Does that,
yeah, it does, especially relationship-minded men. When men are looking for relationships or looking for a woman to be a mother to his future children, I can almost guarantee that when he sees a woman and how she handles children, he obviously is. Isn't it the same way with women to men? Like if a woman is looking for a man or a husband, and she's dating a man, and they're in an interaction around kids, if he ignores the kids or doesn't do well with kids, I have to assume that women are like, I don't know if he's going to make a good father. Now compare that to men who have like dogs in their profile. They love animals. I think that women will correlate a man's love for an animal, a dependent, to a dependent with young kids and them being dependent on him as well. I think women see that correlation. They love a masculine don't take no BS kind of man, but they don't want that man to be a monster to them or their children. They want him to be kind and loving to them, but a monster to the rest of the world. That's my, I don't want to speak for women, but
it'd be interesting for the ladies to comment on that, because I mean, I've never looked for a man with a dog to see if we're compatible, so I don't know how that would work. I don't know, what the ladies would think. If they see or if they see a cat lover, what does that tell them? Because there's some jokes about dudes that like dogs versus dudes that like cats, and how that works. But it'd be interesting.
I think that if I was a woman and I had a cat and a dog, and let's say my dog was Murphy, I don't know, and my cat was whatever, I would be probably more interested in
Buzz
Aldrin. Buzz Aldrin, yeah. I would be more interested in seeing how the interaction between that man and my dog, rather than the interaction between the man and the cat, because dogs, they've got their personalities, and they have their loyalty. Cats are just a little bit different. I'm not looking down on my cat girls out there, but dogs don't dogs have a really unique way of knowing whether or not they like someone?
Yeah.
Like a person will come into your house and your dog would just not like that dude at all.
Yes.
And doesn't it make women, doesn't it make you feel like if your dog hates someone, because your dog loves everybody, but he doesn't like that guy. And I know you guys have to go, he seems nice, but there's something about him I don't trust because my freaking dog don't like him. So if I think there's a lot of women, I don't want to speak for women, but I bet I'm right. There's probably a lot of women out there who will watch to see how he interacts with the dog. And if the dog likes him and he's loving and cuddly with the dog, that will make that man more attractive. That's my guess. Ladies, you tell me in the comment section if I'm right, if I'm off. And if you go over to the Ward family's house,
we need to block her.
If you go to the Ward family's house, Jingle Bells, which is their white and black dog, and that's Brandy's baby. Brandy loves Christmas, and so she named her dog Jingle Bell, right?
Yes.
Jingle Bell's a good judge of character. So if she don't like someone, they're probably not going to be able to stay in the Ward household till. Yeah. Is there a backstory to this that I need to know about? I mean, what's going on here?
Oh boy, we're gonna get a little embarrassing. And for the record, actually, we have 3 dogs and 2 cats. And I don't know why these animals love me, and I don't know why, but they love me. There was that. But Brandy's sister, who we've talked about a time or two, every time she comes over to the house, Jingle Bell is not friendly. So
JL says it happened to him before. Took the dog for a walk. She loved everyone except for one dude. I trusted her judgment.
There you go.
There you go.
Maybe you need to have that. Yeah, take your dog on with you on the first date or something, and see how that interaction works.
Yeah.
But again, it does give you an idea.
He agrees. Absolutely. The dogs gotta love you.
Yeah, it's weird because I'm one of those, and I'm going to say it before Brandy says it and comes on here and embarrasses me further. I talk a big game about how I hate all animals and blah blah blah, but yeah, I'm the one that giving them treats. And that's the thing. It's the rough exterior, and everybody knows I'm a wimp inside. I'm always taking care of the animals, and we have an older dog now, and he's got an eye thing, and I spend an hour almost every day, it seems like, cleaning his eyes out to make sure he's able to see and all that. And but I grumble the entire time. I'm the one that cleans the cat boxes out and make sure they have food and take care of their needs. But
So we've got just a few more things that women can do that they don't realize that men think are sexy. We got a few more of them, but I'm curious. Everyone who's listening right now, we got a few people listening right now.
Yeah.
Put it in the comment section. Is there anything, like guys out there, is there anything that Dwayne and I haven't talked about today that you guys find attractive that women do and they don't even know they do it, but you find it absolutely sexy? I'm going to share one with you. I'm going to share a little, I'm not going to call it a fantasy, but just a turn on. Okay. And if she comes out wearing this, let me tell you something, you better,
Katie barred the door.
Yeah, you better watch out.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what this is called. I just pulled it up. Ladies, help me out here. What is this called? This outfit. Hold on.
Not that web browser or the other page.
This right there. That's hot.
that
Right
over.
What that is. I don't know what that is, but let me tell you something right now. You want to earn 2 brownie points and watch a big old dude just fall to his knees and drool? Come out dressed like that. The little dress with the strap thing, and it's all silky and feminine. Oh God! What? And it's only $26 on whatever this website at Kohl's. I mean,
maybe you start auctioning them off.
I'm going to give you $200. Buy like 6 of them, Lee. I just buy one in every color. Oh my goodness, that is hot. What ladies? What is that called?
That's what cream.
Hold on, it says women's silky cami strap satin sleep dress pajama lawn. Okay, it can't be like 18 words. Sleep dress pajama loungewear pajama. That's what it says. They're just trying to put all the keywords up there. So when you search for it,
dress right there. Yeah,
is that? Yeah, it's so. Yeah, Clover, you're right. It's for nighttime. It's a PJ, right? But is it called like a? Is it like a
sleep dress? Is what she's calling it?
Is it a sleep dress?
And that goes back to the like jokes we've made in the past, and you talked about what women wear out. Men want Jedis in the street, a Sith in the sheets.
Yeah.
If you don't get the Star Wars reference, that we want the good little girl out. Actually, that came out wrong. The good, poised woman out, on her arm, and then the firecracker went away from everybody else.
That's right. That's the perfect scenario. That's a perfect scenario. So let's keep going. How about this? This is one that men find sexy. Self-care, taking care of your wellness.
Yeah.
Obvious, right? I mean, everyone finds that attractive. Taking care of yourself is an essential way for any healthy relationship. And men really like it. Women who prioritize self-care. They also, the women who prioritize self-care will also inspire their men to do the same. And it doesn't mean like, men have to strive for this unrealistic beauty standard. They're not expecting women to be, size 4 or 2, but men see it as a woman valuing her health, her well-being, and that's appealing. If men are visual, which we know them to be, then this makes perfect sense that if you stay in shape, men are going to find you more attractive than if you are a little deconditioned. Dwayne's favorite word, deconditioned. Like when I say that. Another one that men find attractive is laughing, like a woman's laugh. Mm-hmm. That's because men know that women like funny guys, and so whenever we're genuinely making you laugh, I mean that's an attractive characteristic. Displays her fun, loving, and spontaneous nature. It shows that she's comfortable in her skin. She's comfortable with you. She's not afraid to express her joy. She's not like hardcore. She has a sense of humor, and laughing is also contagious. I mean, there's been plenty of times Dwayne laughs and I'm laughing just because he's laughing. It's
I missed the joke. I'm laughing. What?
Yeah, I missed the entire joke, but he's laughing and I'm laughing. I mean, so laughing can be it's cute, it's charming, it's reflecting her enthusiasm, it's reflecting her personality. It's an endearing attribute that can inspire happiness and warmth to her and to the people around her. So just that carefree, bubbly, fun-loving, I love life, I love the company I'm with, I love the moment that I'm in kind of feeling that you give men whenever you are paying attention to him and when you're laughing. Another one that rolls
but
right
not airheady.
Not airheady laugh. Not
yes.
No, not that. Not that.
Different, yeah.
But one that rolls right into it is when she's being a little goofy. I like it when she's a little
That's
goofy.
sexy.
Yeah, it's sexy, man. When she feels comfortable enough to
put the helmet on, put the Optimus Prime helmet on. Let's bling this up a little bit.
That's a fantasy that only you have. Okay, I mean most men are not looking to bed Optimus Prime, but buddy, you do you, man. No heat, no judgment, whatever. You all right, So she looks at your crotch. Autobots, roll out. So whenever a woman's goofy, she's showing her playful side. Obviously, it may unwittingly exude alluring, charming qualities. It could be a signal to men that they are willing to let their guard down and be themselves, and that's really refreshing. That's really pleasant, to be around. It shows that they are confident. Shows they're confident in their personality. They're not afraid to take risks, make some mistakes. And that's a little sign of courage, when she makes a mistake, if she stumbles, if she trips, if she does something, and she just acts goofy, it just shows that she's like, hey,
she's human.
I knocked over a glass of water. Whoops, whatever. You just look, make fun of it. And guys, you need to learn that lesson too, guys. Like, you guys are always getting a little bit, pissed off whenever something bad happens. Just go with the flow, man.
Yeah.
Like Dwayne said, life is going to throw its curveballs your way. It's going to happen. There's going to be mistakes that are made. Just roll with it. Trust me, you'll be much more attractive in her eyes if you also took a lesson from being a little goofy.
Yeah.
Being goofy, while I'm thinking about it, it can be, it can convey like a lack of pretense, emphasizing authenticity and sincerity. It's just an attractive quality all around. And I think it illustrates like a carefree attitude that can be a magnet to people.
You don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
You're not uppity. You're not, you don't have a broomstick up your butt. You're not a Karen, you're not a Chad. You're human. We're all human. We all make mistakes. We all, accidentally stretch on an ottoman and then fart, and what we all do with that information is whatever. We all make mistakes, and have fun with it.
Sometimes I hear guys like it when a woman takes charge. Sometimes, like when
certain places,
certain places. You have to pick and choose, right? I mean, when women take charge of a situation, it can reflect positively on her, and it can be a little bit alluring to some men, depending on the situation.
Right.
It shows confidence in her abilities. She goes after what she wants. I was talking before, right, about how it's hard for men to pursue sometimes because they don't know the signals. Is it going to be received well? Is it not going to be received well? Well, keep this in mind. Like when a woman takes charge, okay, understand that men are the ones who are expected to pursue, flirt, engage,
right.
Or even compliment. We're expected to do those things. When a woman knows what she wants and she lets those wants be known, it throws a lot of men off.
Yeah,
because we aren't used to being complimented, and we're not used to being pursued.
Yeah, that still throws me for a loop. Whenever Brandy compliments me, even to this day, I just get all weirded out, and I don't know what to do with my hands. I mean, she's, she'll say, thank you for doing this or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm confused.
And a lot of guys feel that way, Dwayne, because ladies, what I want you guys to remember or think about, because I know you've never been men, right? But men don't really get compliments. You guys get compliments constantly. You're always being told that you look good. Yeah, I mean, you can do no wrong and you're beautiful and all these things. I mean, guys don't really get compliments. Maybe the top 10, 20% of guys do, but most men don't really receive compliments. So if you see a man that you're attracted to, it may not be a bad idea to maybe take a little bit of charge and you go up there and you show him a compliment. It'll probably throw him off guard. I mean, there's been times in my life where a woman complimented me, and I remember that it felt really nice to hear. There's been times in my life where women have pursued me, and when I wasn't necessarily that attracted to her and I had no plans on pursuing her, but because she did pursue me, it changed the way I felt about her. And sometimes that change was enough for me to move into giving her a chance when I would not have given her a chance before. Just the fact, like even take a dating site, for instance, right? Like there are some dating sites where you have to swipe and she has to swipe. But like there's one like Hinge where you can like a person's photo. And if the other person likes a photo back, then now you're a match. So my point is that a woman can like one of your photos, and then you can see who liked it. And then if you like her back, you guys are now matched. Men find that as a compliment if you liked one of their photos. Instead of you laying back in the cut and waiting for all of them to like your stuff, and then you pick and choose, take charge a little bit. If you see a man that you think is a stand-up guy, he fits the mold of what you're looking for, don't just sit back and just hope that fate shows him your profile and he likes on it. Be first to like it. You know, if there's like a rose, or like sometimes you get like a weekly rose, like a that means like I super duper like you, and you only get one a week. Give that rose to him, and that's a compliment. That's what I'm saying, ladies, is that it's a compliment depending on the situation for you to take the initiative. And
and there's kind of more to it for probably some of the people that are tuning into this show with the Dad Talk Today support group and all that. Is in our past relationships, when we were given a compliment, it was to get something out of us. So when we get a compliment now, we're like, whoa, okay, I've had this happen before. You know, what's going on? We're thinking ulterior motive or something else. And of course, a lot of us have been put down in our previous relationship. So instead of starting neutral and getting a compliment, we're way back here having been broke down from a previous relationship. And then you're complimenting us. We're way back here in the emasculated area. So there's a lot. I mean, we have emotions too. We have a past too.
We do. And finally, taking charge in the bedroom from time to time can really be attractive to men, because we are always often the one who initiates sex.
And we're oh boy. It's a big one.
Keep it PG, buddy.
I'll give you PG 13 or 17. But no, this is an area. But no, men generally, we're the ones that are slaying dragons. We're the ones that we've got the weight of the world. We're in control. We're having to fight and do everything. Honestly, that's probably the last place I want to be fighting or having to take control or whatever. Grab his hair, damn it.
Right.
I'm talking to some people here. Obviously not some people. But
you would just be practicing if you try grabbing mine.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the bedroom, and I guess that would be one of the things I find attractive is a woman that takes control in the bedroom.
Yeah, man.
I am in control every other area in my life. I have to be the guy.
Exactly.
I mean, I was telling you earlier, I was on a 4-hour call with teams across the world today, closing a prod thing, and you do this, I'm controlling everything. Don't want to be controlling it in all areas. Let's just I'll leave it generalized.
And we're not saying it has to be 50-50, where 50% of the time you initiate the sex and 50% he does. I mean, but give us 10-20% every once in a while. Can you get out there and take initiative? I mean, we don't want to. It makes men feel like you're doing us a
solid.
Thanks for giving me a solid, because I asked for it again this week. It's nice for her to pursue, because it makes him feel attractive as well. I mean, for her to initiate the intimacy, it shows a level of interest, right? And it makes that man feel attractive too. Keep this in mind, ladies. Men want to feel wanted as well. So that's all I'm saying. Clover has a question. Are you saying that men want to be a sex object? It does. It does.
Yes.
I cannot think of a time where a man has ever said, I do not like it when my woman takes charge. Like, no, it's pretty much 100% of the time, Clover.
I want to be scared and a little excited. Let me just throw that out there.
Yeah.
I'm not too personal, but I want to be a little scared, but a lot excited.
Yeah. And there's been some women who have made me nervous in the past, and it's a intriguing double-edged sword of like, I think I probably should have stretched out before this, and I kind of like it. I don't know. But another thing too, right there on that same path is, confidence. But this time we're going to talk about confidence in the bedroom. Right. So if a woman has confidence in the bedroom, it's important to touch on the intimate aspect of the relationship as well, of course. And, she initiates it also, but confidence and communication in the bedroom are key factors of turning on a man. When both partners are comfortable discussing their desires, when they're comfortable discussing boundaries, it kind of creates an open and passionate atmosphere. And I'm going to share something else personal about myself. I'll go ahead and do it. I'm the kind of guy who can have just about any conversation in the world. I mean, heck, I have a podcast, for God's sake, right? But when it comes to having conversations about the bedroom, I get a little bit shy when it comes to that. So I me personally, as much as I hate to admit that, because I don't sound very manly when I say that, but I mean, I kind of like it when my woman is confident in talking about the intimacy and takes charge and talks about, things that we like and whatever. Because me personally, I'm probably not going to be the guy rushing to have the conversation, but it's on my mind. So for me personally, I do like it when there's confidence in the bedroom of a woman. Not confidence in the fact that she's done this a million times, not
Right.
that confidence,
Yeah, right.
not that confidence, just confidence in the fact that, hey, you are my man, and I'm gonna
Give you a toe crack and a good
that you're
time.
my man, kind of a thing, right?
Yep.
And then the last one I got for you, and I think that every man's gonna be like, yeah, is men find it very sexy when women wear high heels. We always have.
Really?
Yeah, you don't think high heels are sexy?
I'm a process guy, so I'm like, well, they couldn't fight in those things. And but I understand that like shoes, those type of shoes are horrible for women's feet. I know I'm a process data guy, and obviously I'm a very be comfortable and all that, but wearing high heels, I'm like, those things really mess women's feet up as far as the physically. I mean, they look very, yes, they do look attractive, but the entire time I see a woman in high heels, that's all I'm like, God, that poor girl. She's, and then her poor ankles are gonna be hurting when she's in her 30s, and this is gonna happen. All these bad foot issues are gonna happen. So
yeah.
I know I'm the rare.
I can see your point, but I mean, it's not like they're wearing them all the time, just from time to time. Because ladies, you got to keep the toes looking good. I mean, that's I like neck. I like the small of a woman's back. I like her feet. That I'm that kind of guy. So you got to keep them feet looking good. Okay, if you want to be in this space. So, but yeah, wearing high heels
coming at you.
yeah. I don't want to like hold my arm out and you kind of perch on it. Don't come with those eagle talons kicking on me. No. No. The 3 T's, baby: teeth, titties, toes. Keep those in check.
Okay.
Love them. There you go. And I think women love wearing high heels also because it makes them feel empowered, makes them feel confident and sexy. And when they feel confident and sexy, it obviously reflects in their movement. It reflects in their walk. It turns men on. It gives them a little bit of added height. And some of these girls in the comment section, you guys could use a little added height. It gives them the posture that comes along with wearing high heels that makes them appear taller, more slender. It emphasizes her curves, her overall physique. Okay. It can enhance an outfit, in my opinion, makes it more appealing, makes it more fashionable. And additionally, the sound of the heels clicking across the ground can be an auditory trigger to men. Like when you hear a woman coming down the hallway, you haven't seen her yet. Click, 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 click.
Oh wait, you talked about high heels in public. Oh, I retract my previous statement.
Okay. You thought I meant in the bedroom.
Yeah, there I don't care. I'm like, if they hurt your ankle, I could care less. Wear the heels.
Yeah. I mean, the high heel is out. When she's dressed up, she's out. There's been times where me and guys are talking and we don't see, but we hear click, 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 click. Mm-hmm. We will stop and look because we know a woman's kind of walking up in her high heel. So it can be an intention drawing kind of thing to a woman's presence.
Yeah.
All in all, I think that high heels have the power to transform the woman's physical appearance, allows her to embody her femininity, and that can be incredibly attractive and seductive to men. So those are the things that I think are unintentional things that women can do. They have done that makes men more attracted to them and makes men, that men find sexy. Is there anything that you can think of, Dwayne, that wasn't on the list today that you find is sexy?
We hit the big ones. I mean, again, for the 3 here, I'm more of the intellect. I look at natural beauty, and me, it's knowing the person.
3 T's.
I've never heard that one before myself either.
Really?
So, I'm keeping that one. That's gonna be my next party favor.
It's like in the entertainment business when I was doing a lot of fitness modeling back in the day, and we were next to the women doing the photo shoots. Teeth, tits, toes.
Okay, hey,
women have to get that right.
Hey, that works. But yeah, I mean,
I'm more of an ass guy personally. But
Okay, TTDD or
yeah,
TD,
it
whatever.
doesn't roll off the tongue as nice
Yeah,
as
doesn't
yeah.
quite. Yeah, it doesn't work that well. But I don't know. And mine has been just over time as I've gotten, falling more and more in love with my wife. Uh, that the more actually, it's almost like the less she does. And I want to preface it, but it's like things that wouldn't have been exciting or turning me on before about her now do. It's kind of hard to explain because I mean, while I wasn't attracted to my wife early on when we first met, because there's obviously the initial attraction. Mine has changed. It gets stronger over the years. So well, I can't say if she would have wore a flannel shirt to bed, yeah, the results wouldn't have been the same, day one and year 10, but different thing now that I've gotten to know more about her. And then when she says or does things, I have learned, because she was alluring and left some mystery. I now understand the reasons behind it, or when she some type of service, or if she, well, today I was on that call for 4 hours, and she made breakfast and brought it up and put it on and put it right next to me up here, like
Yep.
all work up here. That to me turned me on. Who would have thought biscuits and eggs would turn me on? But that act of love, that act of service makes was like, hey, boy, I wish I would have, maybe I can mute this phone and run downstairs. But
Yep.
those for me, and that's what when I talked about people that are like going to relationship to relationship, um, being in a monogamous long-term relationship, marriage, whatever that is. I know we've got people of different stripes here, different scenarios, but that to me is the ultimate, love growing more and more each day, building that empire, having her being in her femininity, me and my masculinity, and building that empire. It just gets more and more and more each day. And it's hard to describe it. Because I can't explain. It's trying to explain colors to someone that's blind.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that. I can give you, red's hot and yellow's kind of warm, but giving the full thing, it's hard to explain. But when you meet that person and you make that connection and you start building your empire and quit playing games and hiding your phone and all the other nonsense that you've talked about a million times. Once you get past that, you can build that kind of intimacy and you can, have this type of relationship.
Yeah.
I wish that's for
100%.
everybody.
So, today we've explored various qualities, behaviors that turn men on, that women do. It's crucial to remember, though, that everyone's unique. There's no one size fits all answer. Remember, guys, gals, mutual respect, open communication, they're the foundation of any healthy and fulfilling relationship. These will be probably things that men find attractive for most men, but, all men are a little bit different. So it's keep that communication open, and talk to him and find out what he feels is valuable, what he feels is attractive. I think in conclusion, it's essential to recognize that women should embrace all aspects of their personality, including the physical and non-physical attributes, right? Men should also recognize the value in personality. The value in a woman's personality and determining, her sexiness, their sexiness, not just by her physical looks either.
Right.
So, being sexy is not limited to just physical attributes. It's the whole package. And that includes a woman's personality. It includes her character and includes her values. So that's really what I wanted to show today. Ladies, you don't have to get out there and dress provocative. You can dress exactly the opposite of provocative and still be uber attractive to the majority of men out there. You don't have to be a sex object to grab the attention of men. As a matter of fact, I could make a solid argument that in today's world, where every woman seems to be going about it in that direction, doing the opposite and dressing conservative and
Pattern disruption.
yeah, there you go. I mean, it will attract the attention of men because you don't have the midriff, booty shorts on and whatever, So just kind of keep that in mind. As always, I'm just trying to make sure that people are healthy, happy, having a good time. But I want to thank everyone for tuning in for today's episode of The Big Show, hosted by myself, Jimmy Smith. I really, really appreciate it. On behalf of Dwayne Ward, my co-host, and Eric Carroll, the author of The Dad Talk Today, keep pushing to be the best version of yourself that you can be. And we'll see you guys here on Dad Talk Today next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Central. Until then, you guys have a great week. God bless you, and we'll see you guys soon.